Happy Halloween, everybody. Hi. Ready for another weekly news update in the horror world and dead meat? On to the horror news for this week. This week, October 30th. Well, I guess it's more like the horror news for last week. I can't really predict what news is going to come out this week, but you know what I'm saying. As always, let's start with the SAG-AFTRA strike. It's the thing that is most affecting the industry and also the channel. Somewhat good news. They definitely have been speaking in more optimistic tones as of late. They even met over the weekend, and that there seems to be some distance between the Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, and the AMPTP, the studios. Seems to be a gap on AI stuff and revenue share, which are still have been the sticking points. There's still some optimism that this week they might be able to reach a deal. So hopefully this will be the last time that I have to do one of these where I don't get to talk about actual big movie news, because that's what I really want to do. I know that a lot of stuff came out, some stuff that lots of you are very excited for, but I can't really talk about it as the strike is going on. But rest assured, I see you. I understand. I've heard that people are being told to prepare to get back to work. I've heard that film crew and actors have been told, hey, get ready, like prepare yourself to get working. And it also seems as though everyone's preparing to work this year during the holidays, which they don't normally do. Again, hopefully this is the last update where this strike is going on and we can get back to normal starting next week, but we'll see. Follow the Twitter, Dead Meat James, if you want to that source when the strike ends, because God knows I'll fucking post about it immediately. Have I seen the Onyx movie? Yes, I can talk about that because that got a SAG-AFTRA interim movie. Onyx the Fortuitous, which is a very very specific character played and created by Andrew Bowser. Andrew Bowser wrote and directed the film Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, I believe it is. We saw a screening of it. I really enjoyed it. It's very heartwarming and very fun. It's like an Ernest Scared Stupid, almost like a horror Pee-wee's Big Adventure type film. I recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton are both in it. Jeffrey Combs eating all the scenery in that film. All right, moving on. A lot of video game news, as always, because that's what I can talk about. Alan Wake 2 came out and got very strong reviews. It has a 90 on Metacritic. It's got 10 out of 10 reviews from GameSpot, Screen Rant, Game Radar Plus. People seem to really enjoy that game, which takes about 20 hours to play through. So I know that I'll be playing the first Alan Wake, which I've never played before, sometime soon. I'd like to play that along with Chelsea. I'd love to stream that for you all. Oh, by the way, also Alan Wake 2 has 2 expansions coming out. If 20 hours wasn't enough for you. In the spring of 2024, they have 2 expansions titled Night Springs and The Lake House. So more Alan Wake content for all you Alan Wakers, Alan Wakeheads, wakeboarders, Alan Wakeboarders. That sounds like you're torturing him. Barbarian is getting a video game adaptation, the film Barbarian, from Diversion 3. So apparently this is the team behind Friday the 13th, the game, and Evil Dead, the game. They're bringing us Barbarian, the game. So I can only assume it is going to be another asymmetrical multiplayer online thing, which is fine. Lots of those games in the horror space. Obviously, Dead by Daylight really blew that subgenre wide open, and everyone wants to do that. When Friday the 13th, I think Evil Dead is the same way. I've never played it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All those games are that kind of format. I'll keep an eye out for the first month of Barbarian, and we'll see what's up with that. We got some independent films, or just non-AMPTP films, I guess. On Apple TV, The Enfield Poltergeist. For anyone who likes supernatural documentaries, it's a 4-part docuseries that's looking at the story that The Conjuring 2 was based on. I'm not particularly into the supernatural, but I know plenty of people are. So the events at Enfield, London are reconstructed using real recordings captured by Maurice Gross, a paranormal investigator who archived all of his interviews with those affected by the phenomenon. So if you're a big Conjuring 2 fan, keep an eye out for The Enfield Poltergeist. I don't know when that's out. It might be out now. There's also a Spanish horror film called When Evil Lurks, available on Shudder now. And was that by the people who did Terrified, which I heard a lot about, I haven't seen. And then there is a French-Belgian horror film called Saturn Bowling, and that is also available digitally, and that has to do with a guy inheriting a bowling alley, which is haunted. That sounds fun. Oh, anyone who liked Pontypool? Remember Pontypool, that Canadian film I covered? A very unique audio-based Canadian horror film. Yeah, the writer of that, Tony Burgess, wrote and is starring in another film called Hyperborean, which looks like very low budget. but it has an ice mummy and a whiskey magnate's family coming in to see if they can inherit the business or something, and there's an ice mummy that gets uncovered and is blowing out like laser beams or something. I don't know. That sounds fun. In news that is both horror related and me related, there's a new podcast coming out soon. It's called Scream Dreams, and it's produced by AMP or AMP. I should probably know if it's AMP or AMP, but that is a company that Barbara Crampton is part of. Good friend Bob Portal is also a producer there. But I will be co-hosting this new podcast called Scream Dreams with Catherine Corcoran from Terrifier. First Terrifier, she is the recipient of the infamous hacksaw kill, but is also just a lovely human being. And Catherine's become one of our very good friends in the horror space. So this podcast is going to be her and I speaking to various horror filmmakers and actors about their dreams and nightmares and how those things influence their creative process. Those conversations tend to just get more general during the conversation, and they talk about all sorts of things, but we have a lot of really good guests that we've already filmed stuff with, including one very close personal friend of mine and Catherine's, who we just recorded an episode with where it was just like a very fun friends hanging out type thing. Barbara Crampton is also part of the podcast. She has a segment in each episode called The Sidebar, which is brilliant. And yeah, keep an eye out for that. That is going to premiere on November 15th. So in just about 2 weeks, it'll be on the same day as the Dead Meat Podcast on Wednesdays. It'll be coming out, I believe the Dead Meat Podcast will come out 6 a.m. Pacific on Wednesdays, every other Wednesdays. And then the Scream Dreams Podcast will be coming out 7 right after Dead Meat Podcast comes out, like an hour later. So you can get a double hit of me and podcasts, me as a co-host in podcasts. Because once again, with this podcast, I'm there to talk to people. Catherine is the one doing all the work. Catherine and Bob are the ones producing the podcast with consulting producer Rebecca McKendry. She's helped a lot. But yeah, Catherine's the one putting together the work, doing the spreadsheets and stuff. I show up at the studio. I talk to people. It's a nice gig. I gotta tell you, it's a real nice gig because they're the ones who give me all the information. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this movie and I'll go talk to these people. Layers of Fear. The video game has a free Halloween update, available now and expanding upon 2019's Layer of Fear 2. So that's available free to all Layers of Fear owners. And Amnesia the Bunker also has a free Halloween update. That's nice updates that are free. That's cool. We got some trailers. First one is called Cabernet. It's an upcoming vampire visual novel. It's on Steam now. And it's a 2D narrative-driven RPG, and you make the choice to either fight for your humanity or give in to the horrors that lurk in the shadows.
Now that I am transformed, now that I am part of this world of shadows, I realize it isn't the new horrors that frighten me most. It's that I'm becoming one of them.
What is happening, Lisa? I feel strange.
So I really like that art style and that little voice acting there. Don't like the little bunny getting killed, but you know, that's horror. So I think that looks really cute. I don't know if cute's the right word. It looks interesting to me. So I think that looks real cool, and that's available now. This next one, I think, will interest a lot of you. It is a Junji Ito-inspired game called World of Horror. It's already out, available on PC, and it's coming to PS5, PS4, and the Switch. It's already out on those as well. This looks really cool. This reminds me, I don't know if any of you have ever played the murder mystery game on the, Curse of the Obra Dinn, or something of the Obra Dinn. It is one of my favorite games that I've ever played. If I could Eternal Sunshine my brain just to play it again, that would be probably game number 1 that I would do that with. Maybe that or Outer Wilds. I love Return of the Obra Dinn. Thank you very much, Centane, for the name correction. And this seems to be in that same pointillism art style, only it's like horrific. I mean, Return of the Obra Dinn also had some horror to it. I recommend Return of the Obra Dinn. Big recommend. Play that game if you've never played it. I envy you. Here's a game that visually looks the same, but is apparently Junji Ito inspired. Oh no, YouTube might get mad at me for this. There's a dog! That looks cool as fuck. Looks sick as hell, man. So I would love to play that. That game looks awesome, and I'm so glad that I'm doing these updates now because I would have never known about that. Thanks to brand manager Ben, who puts together all these little news items for me in a very easy to read spreadsheet. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that. There's some other games that their little trailers are out. There's one called, there's a Creepshow game, but the teaser trailer doesn't really reveal anything, so I don't know what a Creepshow game is going to look like. And then Sucker for Love First Date has a sequel, Sucker for Love Date to Die For. It's a survival horror / comedy dating sim where you try to court eldritch monsters while also dealing with their acolytes. So that sounds pretty interesting. I think that's about it. And we can move into Dead Meat news, I believe. This weekend, we saw the release of 2 kill counts for the end of October. Emesis Blue came out on Friday, a 36-minute long episode about a Source filmmaker game made with Team Fortress 2 elements. And I know that sounds weird to you, maybe, if you're not familiar with it, but that movie fucking rules. It's really good. And spoiler alert, new kill count record, baby. I got the belt back. No more Dude Bro Party Massacre stuff. Emesis Blue is the current and most likely forever reigning kill count champion. We will find a way to make some sort of like mid-card title or something with different stipulations to win it. But as of now, I think Emesis Blue is probably retiring that fucking belt. And then Sunday, Talk to Me. That kill count came out. Talk to Me is an A24 film. It did also receive a a SAG-AFTRA interim agreement, or it's not struck work. I forget if it's because it's Australian or because of the conditions that that A24 agreed to. They just distributed the film, but it was made by Raka Raka, the YouTube channel that's been doing stuff for a long time. Those 2 twin Australian boys seem like a bunch of rowdy lads, and great movie, loved it, and the kill count is out. As I explained in the opening of the public version of that kill count, YouTube has become, over the 6 years that we've been doing this, increasingly strict about graphic content and pretty much just everything. They really bring down the restrictions much quicker than they used to when I first started this job. It sucks as a horror channel trying to deal with it, but they have become especially strict when it comes to topics of suicide and self-harm. They do not like even discussions of it, definitely not any visual depictions of it. And the issue with Talk to Me is that it was kind of an important plot point. The character's mother had perished that way in her past, and so we tried to edit around it as best we could. I feel bad. It feels bad as a lover of cinema and someone who wants to help media literacy and help promote these films in a genuine way with what they are and to talk about them. It feels bad and dirty to cut out such an important part of a film and to talk around it. And I understand that it's a sensitive topic, so I'm sympathetic to people who prefer not to hear that in their entertainment, but not everything is for everyone, and I would much prefer to be able to talk about the things in a film, but we had to cut around it, and I feel bad about it, and but I hope we did it in a way that enticed people to see the film. That is always the number one goal of these videos, is to promote horror and the things that we want to create new fans of these works that we're covering. So I hope people went and sought out the film for themselves. It's a very well-made movie, very interesting and fresh. And again, I feel bad I apologize to Raka Raka for having to cut around such an important part of the film. Go watch the movie for yourself. There's also the explicit version of the kill count on our Patreon. The reason we do that is so that we can make the episode how we want it. YouTube has changed a lot since we started Dead Meat 6 years ago, and I know that some people are like, I wish that kill counts were like they used to be, uncensored and just like balls to the wall with gore and everything. Those episodes do exist on our Patreon because those are the versions of kill counts that we want to make, that I want to make. We couldn't release those as our public versions because they would all get demonetized and we have a staff to pay, so we need that income, but we make it available for literally as cheap as we possibly can. It's a single $1 a month. You can pay $1 and for a month have access to all the explicit kill counts and just run through them and then unsubscribe from the Patreon if that's what you want to do. It's fine. Patreon.com/deadmeatjames. We make it as available as possible in a way that makes sense for the business as well. I hope that compromise makes sense. It's we'll never increase the price of the explicit kill count availability, okay? That'll always be $1 a month. We have other cool rewards at higher tiers, but the explicit kill counts with the discussions of the sensitive topics and with the unblurred gore, we still censor the nudity because, don't come to my channel for that. Get out of here. But that is available on Patreon for just $1 a month. Anyway, hope you enjoyed those 2 kill counts. It was a stressful month trying to get all those double kill counts out. A lot of them very long. The video game kill counts like Danganronpa and the Mortal Kombat ones. But we're back to the one a month or one a weeks. Now that's November, almost. And that'll let us catch up and get ready for eventually when the strike ends to come back hitting hard. But in the meantime, we do have some strike compliant non-struck work coming up on the kill count. This Friday, November 3rd, we have Dylan's New Nightmare, a very well-made short that is a sequel to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, starring Miko Hughes, who played the little kid Dylan in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. He is now a fully grown man, and it is a very good short film available to watch on YouTube. You can search it on YouTube right now, Dylan's New Nightmare, made by Cecil Laird of the YouTube channel The Horror Show. So check that out, Dylan's New Nightmare. Coming out Friday on the kill count. Next Friday is a very unstruck work because it's a fucking student film. Llamageddon, baby. It's a killer llama from outer space with laser eyes and he blows people up. So that kill count is coming to you November 10th. I've said this before. It is very much like a Thanksgiving quality film. I don't mean that in an insulting way. That's just the facts of the matter. It is a low budget, no budget film made by people who they couldn't afford various departments. Granted, Llamageddon is definitely trying to be so bad it's good, but it's entertaining. I thought so. So that will be, Llamageddon kill count will be out on Friday, November 10th. After that, because I feel like the strike will probably be ending soon, fucking fingers crossed, please end. But I will say I have begun work on a kill count for Too Many Cooks, the Adult Swim short that played unannounced 3 or 4 in the morning back in 2014. It is one of my favorite shorts of all time. I think it's incredible. It's so funny and inventive and clever, and it has a lot of kills in it. So Too Many Cooks, the work on it has begun. I don't know when it'll come out because, again, if the strike ends, we got Terrifier 2 to come, After the strikes end, will you still be doing these live streams, says Kegs Toast. Yes, we are doing these live streams from now on every Monday morning, and I'm excited for the strike to end because then we can talk about movie news, and we can discuss the things that a lot of people are here for. Video games are cool, graphic novels are cool. I want to talk about movies, baby. That's what I got. That's what I paid all my money for my film degrees, so I would like to get back to that, please. And when the strikes are over, we can talk more about that. These are going to continue. I think it's really cool to discuss all this horror news with you guys and make you aware of these upcoming things. And again, like I said, get more fans of these things. I hope people go and check out World of Horror. I want to. So yeah, we're going to keep doing these live streams. Yes, Too Many Cooks kill count will be out eventually. And when the strike is over, we'll see Terrifier 2 and some other stuff we're working on. I don't know how much I can say, but I just want to give you the heads up that even when the strike ends, we are still, there's a company that is, and we can't cover their stuff right away, even without the strike. Just so you know, when the strike ends, we're not going to be able to get to necessarily the most requested things because they happen to all be with a certain studio, and it sucks. But we're trying to get that resolved. Anyway, podcast, Dead Meat Podcast, will be out this week, but because of Halloween and everything going on, it won't be out Wednesday. I think we're going to come out on Saturday, and it'll be a review, I believe, of Noroi the Curse. Yes, 2005 Japanese horror film. I've never seen it, but I've heard a lot about it. So yeah, we're getting, the old J-horror movie. It's 2005, I guess is kind of old now. Yeah, that's going to be the podcast episode. It'll be out, I believe, on Saturday, maybe Sunday, but just not on Wednesday. That will be out later. And then what else do we got on Dead Meat News? I know that there was some stuff. Oh yes, we are still selling our Halloween merch. We got I wish I had it with me. The orange jack-o'-lantern shirt and the jack-o'-lantern bag and the Lucy the Witch hat pin. That is available. A buy one get one sale going on. It's on deadmeatstore.com. Use code Halloween to do a buy one get one. There we go. It's yes, this very fun orange shirt, this very nice Lucy the Witch hat pin, and this very soft felt little handbag. So check that out. Finally, today, in just a few hours, we're doing a charity live stream. We're going to be playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, but we will be talking to the lead game designer, Steve Kirby, and we're going to be working with the charity Special Effect, which is a really cool charity. They work to create accessibility in gaming for people with physical disabilities. And so they adapt technology, they modify joypads, they do those really amazing technology where you can control stuff with your eyes by like looking at stuff for people who have like the most extreme physical disabilities. It's so cool that we have those technologies available now because like that fucking sucks. And for so much of human history, like all of it until now, I'm so happy that we've advanced in technology to accommodate for that and try to make it at least a little bit better. And, gaming is an important thing. It's not just a pastime, it's an art form. It's something that helps people feel better and makes them happy. And to be able to let people with physical disabilities like that join in on the fun, that's amazing. So Special Effect is the company, and they raise money for that, and you can donate to the Special Effect charity drive right now. Check that out. We'll be raising more money while we're doing the live stream, but you can get a head start right now. That's all I got for you today. Again, I'm really hoping that next week I can open it with the strikes over, but we'll see. I refresh, I search SAG-AFTRA on Twitter and Reddit every few hours, sort by new, what's going on, keep it up with it, and I'm really hoping that we get there. Really hoping we get there. But thank you so much for joining me for another weekly live stream with these news updates, and I can't wait to do it more. Also, I went to Halloween Horror Nights, which itself isn't Struck. I know that the mazes, a lot of them have to do with Struck work, but you know which one doesn't? The Terror Tram ride with Larry Larva and the bugs. So shout out to Larry. That disgusting motherfucker with he's got like holes in his face. It's very tryptophobic, but we had a good time going yesterday. And if you were one of the people who saw us and said hi again. Good to see you. Thanks. Oh man, that butterbeer, dude. Oh god. It was like near the end of the night, I had a warm butterbeer with the white rum. Put a shot of white rum in that baby. Whew, that just feels like the holidays. Oh, I just want that next to a fireplace. Let that be my December, baby. God, it's so good. All right. Continue on with your days and weeks and enjoy everything horror. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you around the channel. All right. Bye. Be good people.